Welcome back, Alphas. Star Citizen 3.5 changes in-game controls and keybinds, and it's a lot to memorize. So I've found a way that you can simplify your flight controls and focus more on enjoying the new flight experience. Hold position, and I'll tell you all about it. The other day, Montoya did an insightful piece on the challenge of learning all the flight controls in Star Citizen. He said the game has 90 plus keybinds. Wow. So I'll trust him on that count for time's sake. But that number of keybinds yields enormous control as a player and creates a huge learning curve. Even those of us who've been actively backing this project for years are taking pause, trying to relearn how to manage our ship in flight. My advanced keybinding controls are gone, it seems. Does that mean no more advanced versus basic setup? Is CIG trying to address this issue by simplifying the keybinds and controls? Appears so. Yet, it may not be enough for a sandbox game with such granular control of vehicles. This is the real challenge. Now, some of you in the know have heard whispers last year about a guy working in his spare time on an app to turn typical full-sized Wi-Fi tablets into actual real-world MFDs for your ship. It was called SC Pad. Well, he connected with some other guys who were working on something similar for games like Elite Dangerous and many more. They are now collaborating as GameGlass to bring the project to life much sooner and are focusing solely on Star Citizen for their first game to support. Yes. Building on the idea of SCPad, GameGlass will support even more hands-on functionality with a larger team behind the project. Alpha version 1 has been tested by GameGlass original backers since it launched on May 3rd, 2019. 1.1 drops with Star Citizen 3.5 Live, which adds quality of life improvements to GameGlass. And yes, GG supports 3 different keyboard layouts with no modifications needed on your end. So people around the world rejoice. Most of the features are to be included in a free beta version, like the flight screen shown here, the ground vehicle screen, and the shield's combat screen. And it is cool. This looks so much easier to manage shields and power in combat than holding interactive mode and trying to zoom in on your ship's in-game MFDs. Man, that is tough. This, my friends, looks both immersive and efficient. And like I've said in past videos, when I'm in a dogfight, I don't really have time to stop maneuvering, stop aiming and dodging, to zoom in and try to interact with the game MFD screens in my cockpit to manage my ship controls and systems. Man, it's like trying to herd cats. GameGlass is hands-on, low latency, tactile, Star Trek Next Generation type control with audio cues and even haptic vibration. Target enemies, cycle targets, target friendly, target subsystem, pin target, focus reticle, decoupled mode, on or off, cycle camera, free look, toggle SCM limiter, on or off, toggle cruise control, toggle between gimbaled and fixed gimbals, manage shields, yeah, manage power, yeah, and more. All that can be managed on the fly without purchasing some fancy name brand flight sim control box with like 6 buttons on it. So rifle through your drawers and find your old Wi-Fi tablets. Place them on your desk and you got a set of MFDs, my friend, that are easy to control while multitasking in the frenzy of battle. Go full-on flight sim and you can mount those babies to your desk so it feels more like you're in your actual SC ship. Get immersed while saving key seconds that could mean the difference between surviving and respawning far, far away and shipless. Right now, it's early in the GameGlass project. There's huge potential for this virtual game controller tech in both our Star Citizen verse and in so many other games. Since you just heard about it before the masses ever will, you're seeing very early footage of development and not everything is built yet. Star Citizen backers are very familiar with this. Support early, test first, have your feedback matter, be the expert before others hear about it. The alpha for an alpha. As in any alpha, small things like open and close doors or max power and other commands aren't going to be live in the alpha 1.1 version. Also, initially, this is going to be for full-size tablets, so think 9 to 10 inch, like a Galaxy Tab S2, iPad, iOS 9 Plus, or a Surface. The smaller and larger screen sizes for things like iPad mini or iPad Pro, that would take some work on the back end to support. That's planned for later releases. I guess I'll have to wait to install it on my old Nexus 7. Starting with normal-sized tablets appears to be the way to get GameGlass under more gamers' hands and let them test what's been invented so far and tweak that one version along the way, similar to the way we get to experience Star Citizen well before it goes to launch. Once complete, it's easier to adapt to other screen ratios. Otherwise, devs would have to do triple the work every time they want to implement a change. Small, medium, and large versions. Like we learned in Star Citizen with female playable characters, it's more efficient to do one version, get it up and working well, and then adapt it for other uses. Same goes for why they're starting with Star Citizen. If you can build an MFD to cover this ridiculous amount of controls, you can build an MFD for pretty much any game. That's what I think. And when Star Citizen Alpha 3.5 finally goes live, GameGlass will be releasing their Alpha 1.1 to work with the new Star Citizen flight controls and keybinds. It's like an alpha for an alpha for you, alphas. Is this a dream within a dream? Rather than change any keybinds in-game, GameGlass only needs to add keybinds for the stuff in the SC keybindings that aren't bound out of the box, like toggle G-Safe, for instance, toggle ESP, stuff like that. Rather than going in and manually binding all those unbound keys, GameGlass makes it simple to load after each Star Citizen patch wipe. Now, my hope is that other programs like Voice Attack with HCS voice packs will also use these new Star Citizen keybinds and could even build off of the additional binds added by GameGlass. A unified experience would help to use both real MFDs and voice commands. So when HCS Voice Packs updates their Singularity profile to be 3.5 compatible with the new keybinds, they could use the same new keybinds that are added by GameGlass for those unbound keys. Because remember, they're only adding keybinds to the ones that are left blank by CIG. This would help HCS Voice Packs to solve some of those challenges that they've faced with Star Citizen advanced keybind controls not binding every key, and they need those to work with voice commands. So it sounds like Craig and the boys down at GameGlass solved that problem by creating their own downloadable set of keybinds, and then we load it into our game. Hey, psst, Fiery Toad, go download it and share it with your team over at HCS. Now, I haven't tried GameGlass out yet, and I just really wanted to share with you what I've discovered so far. Here's what I've Sherlocked about how you get this amazing new SimPod edition. For the alpha version, if you back the GameGlass Indiegogo perk package, or you support it with Patreon, you'll have an email with a link to download GameGlass Alpha with your access key. And I'm not really sure of other details as of yet on the alpha. Did you back the Indiegogo crowdfunded campaign and got first access? How is it so far? Internet Army unleash and share details in the comments below. Now, let's talk about setup. How much work are we talking? Do I have to be as nerdy as some of my buddies? Setup seems simple enough from my research. You copy and paste the GameGlass SC keybinds file to your Star Citizen mappings directory, as seen here on the screen. Open the client on your PC. Load the application on your tablet and click Initialize. Choose your keyboard layout, and then simply click Install Keybinds. You'll get an alert that shows you're connected to your PC or you're not. Log into Star Citizen, then go to your keybinds, and then Advanced Controls Customization, and then Control Profiles. Scroll through the list and look for GameGlass, and then you load up those keybinds that you dropped into the file folder. You basically pull it up, and it'll say Keyboard, and you click on it, and then you select Keyboard, and then hit OK. It's the same way you would load up keybinds for a joystick or for advanced controls in the last patches. Now, please forgive me if I've missed a detail somewhere. As I mentioned, this service is not something that I have experienced yet. I have no access key, and I'm making this video on my own accord just to get the word out to you early adopters, in case it's something that could benefit you. Look for the beta version in the Play Store, the App Store, and the Amazon Store, sometime after April 14th, 2019, the projected beta release date. And of course, this is Star Citizen 3.5 live release permitting. Good news for all citizens, by the way. In a developer update, Craig from GameGlass said there will always be a free version. Yeah. As well as a subscription-based version that supports further GameGlass feature development while giving you access to loads of other cool features, making gaming life easier and more immersive. From viewing ship stats to help you choose the right vessel for the job, to organizing screenshots of CIG's wondrous sandbox universe and your piece of history in it. And of course, much, much, much more. GameGlass is on track to do something amazing, and I, for one, can see this as a game changer, not just for Star Citizen, yet for so many other great titles. What are your thoughts? Connect with us in the comments below and let's theorycraft. Power up that like button so others will get a chance to stumble across this video. That really does help the channel. And if you think your org mates would be interested in this kind of gaming tech, share this video with them. And by the way, guys, I took a little vacation time later this month to try out Alpha 3.5 and all of its new additions. So when it launches, I'll be looking for you in Area 18.